driving. Hope comes and stops us in our tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Another week. We got another week to do all this. Another week to stay sober. I hope you had a good weekend. I was all right. It was a decent weekend. You know, I had to get up early every day, including today. Today's Monty, man. Take 12 radio. We'll be doing that in about an hour and a half. Hour and a half? Yeah, okay. Sure, I have the time right. Sometimes I get a little time blind, or my dyslexia will mix it up in my head and I'll do the wrong time. And having a conversation, that works for me. I'm in no rush. No rush. I gotta do this. What this is these people are listing the resources on the Adams County page, and there are at least 2 people on there that have committed fraud. And if you think I'm just going to let that slip by in my county, nope. Nope. Stop it, Sawyer. My cat said he's got the Monday morning blues. He should be in a good mood. The Broncos won, dude. He's just a cranky kitty. But I'm gonna see if I can have a conversation with them. See, they're not doing anything, but well, they might. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Ain't gonna happen now. So what does it matter? Got set up. They were willing to talk. If nothing else comes out of it, then I just find another person that's, let's say they do nothing about it. Well, we still got to get some good out of it, do we not? Yeah. I think I know this person. Have a safe trip and thank you. Gotta be nice. Yeah. See, I think I've talked to this person before. I don't know. They're all women. I hardly talk to any men in this field. Right. So anyway, but yeah, I hope you had a good weekend. I did a photo shoot yesterday. Yesterday was that? Yeah, that was yesterday. So thank you, Amber, for that. It was appreciated. I should go check chat. She might even be here. So yes, she is. Yo, morning, Amber. Yeah, we even took some fun pictures. I'm not gonna blow it though. I mean, it's not so funny that I have to hide it, but I'm gonna keep a secret. It'll be out soon. Let's just say I utilize something in the camera area. There's not many things in the camera area. So, all right. Well, it's not like everybody. So he took some pictures with the mask, with the Darth Vader mask right here. And I'm going to come up with captions that says things like, Dion help me leave the dark side and shit. Things like just stupid, funny stuff. We had fun yesterday. I don't like doing pictures. I get embarrassed. I get shy real quick. Good morning, Daryl. Good to see you. Happy Monday, brother. Happy Monday. Today is today's daily reflection, and it covers Step 3, it actually covers the third step prayer. The gift of bonding is what we're talking about this morning. So we're going to be in the big book. Let's grab our big books, our big blue books. Big blue and yellow books. It looks like the sunshine. It looks like the sun rising. Our book does. All right. It does. Welcome to the Daily Trudge. My name is Dion. I am your host with the most, who puts out posts. I am not doing very well on that. If you're here, please say hello, whether you're watching the live or the rewatch. Look at me. I just opened a how it works. It's not where we're at. It's in how we're at. All right. So let's see. We're going to start at the top of page 62. It'll take a little bit for us to get to the third step prayer, but we will. But there's always things before it. There's preparation when we do things, you know. When we go to God, we have to check our intentions. What are we trying to do here? Why are we going to God? You know, are these things that you think about? When I pray in the morning, I start with the serenity prayer. I ask God to keep me sober for that day. Then I pray for people in my life, and I close with the third step prayer. It's very simple. It is straightforward. It doesn't require too much from my brain. And I have done steps 1, 2, and 3 first thing in the morning. Why is that? Why do I need to do that? Because I go to bed a recovered alcoholic and I wake up a hopeless, helpless drunk again. I'm not chronic anymore. Actually, I'm not hopeless or helpless. It's kind of extreme. We're storytellers here, right? But I start over. There's some things from yesterday that are going to move over to today. These are dividends. These are things that are going on, that are happening, right? But I got to start my day again. So not only that, but there are some days I have found that oops, connection lost. Where did it lose connection? It ain't on my side. I can tell you. YouTube, you guys still there? Didn't say everybody went away. So it didn't say where the connection was lost. So I haven't gotten that in a long time. I just hope it's not mine. I have pretty decent internet. But the other reason that you need to work on your foundation is because some days it's all you got. It just might be a tough day. So, you know, if you can rely on your foundation, you have a solid foundation, then you don't have to worry about whether you're going to go drink that day or cause disharmony or, you know, some days I just keep my damn mouth shut all day because I'm just grumpy, you know. Yeah, Dion shutting his mouth all day. That'd be a miracle. That would be a miracle. I do my best. All right. Maybe instead of taking 4 seconds to think about what I'm going to say, I take 10. You know, it might be at the point where people are like, Dion, are you there? Yeah, I'm here. I need to think on that for a second. Selfish is self-centeredness that we think is the root of our troubles, driven by 100 forms of fear, self-delusion, self-seeking, self-pity. We step on the toes of our fellows and they retaliate, seemingly without provocation, but we invariably find that at some point in the past, I almost had it. In the past, we have made decisions based on self, which later placed us in a position to be hurt. Whoa. Yep. Guess what? My problems are of my own making. Now, how does this go to the gift of bonding? Because I need to realize some things because the bonding we're talking about here is with God. And I can't bond unless I stop playing God. So this is the process in which we are using to figure out, hey, wait a minute. Maybe I don't need to carry the world on my shoulders. Maybe I don't need to solve everybody's problem. Maybe I need to solve my own problems. I know I was much better at solving your problems than I was my problems. I'm still better at solving your problems than my problems because I'm not a part of them. But I no longer feel the requirement to do that. Or if I do, I'm going to take care of my shit first so I can help you. So I can. I got to put myself in that position. See, I used to run around setting myself up to fail. Now I set myself up to succeed. At least that's the intention. It doesn't always work. Sometimes I still end up setting myself up to fail. When does that usually happen? When I didn't go to God for direction. That's when that usually happens. Or I didn't follow direction. Or the direction came, but I refused to listen to it. So our problems are basically of our own making. They arise out of ourselves. I'm kind of reading into the next paragraph here, but hey, so let's read that. So our troubles we think are basically of our own making. They arise out of ourselves, and the alcoholic is an extreme example of self-will run riot. An extreme example. You already see a lot of people out there, non-alcoholics, playing God, but we alcoholics take these things to the extreme. I don't know why. I don't know that I'm ever going to know why. Maybe one day I will. I just know that I am that way, and that is a fact. Right? Alcohol. Now, here that they arise as and he is an extreme example of self will riot, though he usually doesn't think so. There's the lie. Take care, Daryl. Love you, brother. Right? He usually doesn't think so. Well, if he doesn't think so, how is he going to do this? Yeah, this is going to be a conundrum. Willingness is a great way to start on that. Willingness. Are you willing to take a look at it? Because people don't. Why is willingness so powerful? Because people don't want to be seen as unwilling. They don't want to be seen as unwilling. I don't. Although there are times, there are, sure there is. All right. We are above everything. We alcoholics must be rid of this selfishness. We must, or it kills us. Yeah. How is it? Well, Dion, how can selfishness kill you? Well, you'll go back to drinking. That's gonna kill you eventually. Selfishness leads what's the number one? What's the number one thing? It's anger. That's the number one character defect. It's anger. Anger is the number one, especially among alcoholics. Oh, I'm not angry. I was a happy drunk. Bullshit. You were very unsatisfied. I don't want to hear it. Hey, though he usually doesn't think so. You know, what else will it do? Well, I'm not drinking. Yeah, but if you're running around being selfish, this is going to lead to worse things. Heart attacks, strokes. Yeah. Yep. Anger kills the body just as much as alcohol does. It both anger, alcohol, and let's throw a sprinkling of fear in there too. These are things that will corrode the body inside and out. Anger is an emotion and if you hold on to that anger, it will fucking kill you. I don't care who you are. You'll have a heart attack by the time you're in your mid 40s. I guarantee it. I've watched it happen again and again and again. I had a heart attack at 42. My younger sister, heart attack at 42. Younger brother, heart attack at 42. My biological father, heart attack at 42. A sister of whom I've never met physically, older than me, heart attack at 42. Uh, You also want to know what 42 is in sci-fi? It's the answer to everything. All right. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Great book. Movie was all right. Yeah. It had Bilbo in it, you know. Bilbo wasn't it? The guy that plays Bilbo. All right. And there often seems to be God makes that possible, and there often seems no way of entirely getting rid of self without his aid. Many of us had moral and philosophical convictions galore, but we could not live up to them even though we would have liked to. Neither could we reduce our self-centeredness much by wishing or trying on our own power. We had to have God's help. Not only that, but trying to get rid of your selfishness on your own power is an oxymoron. It means it's not going to work. Oh, okay. Well, I'm thinking of me, so I'm going to go think of me more and solve this by myself. Me, 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 me. Me, myself, and I. That's a song. Me, myself, and I. Yeah. Right? It's just another form of denial. Oh, this is the how and why of it. First, we had to quit playing God. But I'm an atheist. I don't believe in God. But you're still telling people what to do. Telling people what to do, how to do it, when to do it, to my specifications. You don't do it. You do anything? Yeah. No. Bullshit. Bullshit. Here's the thing. When we talk like that, we think we are doing the right thing. That is the weird thing about alcoholism. Even while we were drinking, we thought we were doing the right thing. That's another part of this disease I just don't understand. Because now that I see it, it's clear as day to me. But I could not see it. Even the second time, even 12 years of sobriety, I knew this program pretty darn well then too. I was a big book thumper then too. But none of it helped me while I was in my cups. No, what it was frustrating because I knew better. Well, I'm going to tell you, there's a deeper denial in all of us. Yeah. Even if it was, well, who isn't an alcoholic at 18? Because that's when I got sober. Well, 1 in 10 people is alcoholic. So there's your answer, no matter what age. Right. But at 18, sure, my friends drank like I did. They went on to college. I went to Skid Row. But I tell you now, they are just as alcoholic as me. See, the destination doesn't give the qualification for alcoholism. It's what you're doing at the destination. All right. It didn't work. Next, we decided that hereafter in this drama of life, God was going to be our director. See, now they're going to give us options. God was going to be our director. Do you want to be your director? He is the principal. We are his agents. Okay. So do you want to be a super spy for God that runs around and does good? Yeah, why not? Right? You can have fun with it too. God don't mind if you have a little bit of fun. Here's the one that got me. Here's the one that let me know, because I always believed in God, but what was he to me? It was this one that did it for me. He is the Father and we are his children. That was it. I didn't really have father growing up. I had a man who tried. I made it very difficult for him though. Okay. I'm not going to put everything on him. I just don't. I did plenty. Trust me. All right. So he is the Father. We are his children. What a great way for me to step into this. I happen to need a father, and now I have the best father ever. I have the best father that I have the best father for me. Just like I think I have the best wife for me. My wife's the best for me. You got to put that in there. All right. So, most good ideas are simple. Yeah. Most good ideas are simple. I have found that out. And this concept was the keystone of the new and triumphant arc through which we pass to freedom. What is a keystone and what is an arc? You know what an arc is. You got all those stones sitting up. Okay, now a keystone is the one that sits on the very top of the arc. Arch, not arc. Arc is a boat. Arch sits on top of the arch, right? Without this keystone, it will not stay in place. It will fall apart either by gravity, wind, different elements, okay? And the third step represents the keystone. So on the sides of this arch are steps 1 and 2. Now you're doing step 3 and you're putting the keystone in the arch. Well, what door did you just create? You just created the door of willingness. See, steps 1, 2, and 3 kind of meld together. At least they did for me. Because in the third step, I built the arc, and then I used the key of willingness to open the door, and this led me to the third step prayer. You built your arc. Arch. I keep saying arc. When we sincerely took such a position, this is the third step promises. Now, I teach a little trick. Okay. I heard somebody bring this up in a meeting a few years ago, and I'm like, what a great idea. Okay, there's a psychology behind this. So, if you want to figure out your progress, go to the promises. Go to the promises and change the pronouns to I and me. It will hit you different, and you got to say it out loud to yourself. So instead of reading it, it's going to be statements. And then you're going to feel in your stomach or somewhere in your body whether that's true or not. And you will know. And I'm going to tell you now, you probably go through and be like, holy crap, all this has happened to me. I didn't even know. All right, so let's do it. I'm going to do it that way this time so you can hear the difference. But this is a good way to figure out progress, right? Or you can go and do this. Maybe you're feeling a little down. Go read the third step promises and put it and change the pronouns. When I sincerely took such a position, all sorts of remarkable things happened. I had a new employer. Being all powerful, he provided what I needed if I kept close to him and performed his work well. Do you hear the requirements in there? That I stay close to him. How am I going to stay close to him? Prayer and meditation. I talk to God throughout the day. If something happens, I thank God for it. I did it earlier when that person texted me, and I'm like, thank you, God. See? Because it's just another gift. It's another thing that needs to be, because I want to perform his work well. And that is another thing. Before I come on here, I do a little prayer. I have a system. Before Monty and crew, we're doing it today in an hour. Okay. We pray before we get started. Before we do the podcast, we pray before we get started. I'm always praying. It doesn't need to be huge. God, please give me the right words. Thank you. It doesn't need to be, oh, our Father, and not too many these and thous with me, unless I'm doing the actual prayer, right? So, established on such a footing, I became less and less interested in myself, my little plans and designs. Ooh, this was a big one for me. I'm an idea guy. Got an idea a minute. I'm sure I'll come up with one while I'm here. They're not all good. Even to this day, they're not all good. Now, but this is what we're talking about. In the beginning of the program, If you want to do something, the answer is going to be no. Well, I'm going to use myself. So in the beginning of the program, my poor sponsor, I bring up idea after idea. I'd like to do this, and he kept telling me, "No, Dion, no, Dion, you're too early in the program. No, no." After a little while, it started to become not yet. Not yet, Dion. You're getting there. You're getting closer. Now that my will is mostly in line with God's, the answer is usually yes. That was the process that I went through. But it came down to that I had to be less and less interested in myself and my little plans and designs. I had to be more interested in what I could bring to the world, right? More and more, I became interested in seeing what I could contribute to life. Yeah. And I feel it. In fact, this next line, as I felt new power flow in. Yep. So when I'm talking about power, I'm talking about a higher power. And he is all powerful. As I felt new power flow in, as I enjoyed peace of mind, as I discovered I could face life successfully, as I became conscious of his presence, I began to lose the fear of today, tomorrow, the hereafter. I was reborn. And I have been reborn. It was uncomfortable. It took some things. You're going to grieve. Okay? You're going to be sad in the first 30 days. You're going to grieve. You know what you're grieving? You're grieving the first thing you're going to grieve is the loss of your best friend. Alcohol. Then the death of the old self. And you will grieve it. It may not be very long, but you will grieve it. You will feel it. Now, this is kind of a good grieve. We needed the death of the old self so that we could reemerge. Think of it more like a caterpillar turning into a butterfly kind of situation. The caterpillar is no more. You are now a butterfly. You have moved forward. You have become something bigger. But it can't be done without a higher power. All right, you'll hear me say often that any recovery void of a higher power will lack certain benefits. I didn't say it won't work. I've seen people power their way through, but it'll lack certain benefits, and I just named them all. The promises, that's what it will lack. They don't get this stuff. Right? So now that we figured out that we're selfish and self-centered, that the root of our troubles is us, that we seem to create our own problems. Now we've come to the realization that we have been playing God, and that it is time to relinquish this role. Okay, because you can't very well believe in God and listen to God and play God at the same time. It's impossible to do. Then we see some of these promises start to work in our lives. This is the gift of the bonding that we're talking about. All right. So let's read the third step prayer, and then I'm going to move over to today's daily reflection. We are now at step 3. Many of us said to our Maker, as we understood him, God, I offer myself to thee, to build with me and to do with me as thou wilt. In other words, I'm giving him permission to give me direction, to build with me. We're going to build something. You just built an ark together. Arch. You just built an arch together, right? Relieve me of the bondage of self that I may better do thy will. Yep, take away my stuff, right? So take away my difficulties, that victory over them may bear witness to those I would help with thy love, thy way of life. May thy power, thy love, and thy way of life, well, may I do thy will always. Right. So God, remove from me all the bullshit so that I can be a better use to you in the world around me. I need that. I need that help. I need the support. It goes on to say, we thought well before taking the step, making sure we were ready to that we could at last abandon ourselves utterly to him. That means everything. Scary proposition. I know, huh? It's scary. All right. Give it a try. Give it a try. See what happens. Okay. But you can't do it half-heartedly. No. Here's the key. Maybe you're not giving everything, but you're willing. We can use willingness in this case. You know, how many things did I have open? I had too many things open. That's how many things I had open. All right. Then be willing. That's a good start. We're just asking you to make a start. You don't have to do this perfectly. No. We're just asking you to give it a start. That's it. What else can I expect from you? I mean, really, in the beginning, we're going to take the, So anyway, all right. The gift of bonding, relieve me of the bondage of self that I may better do thy will. Alcoholics Anonymous, page 63. Many times in my alcoholic state, I drank to establish a bond between myself and others, but I succeeded only in establishing the bondage of alcoholic loneliness. They hit that one on the nail. They did. They got that one. Right? It always seemed to lead to isolation. And this even the bonding part, that makes it even more secure in the fact that I see that he's the father and I'm the child. So bonding, a parental bonding for me. Through and not just God, but my fellowship, I'm bonded to several people in this world. Okay. But it's every single one of those bondings is on a spiritual level. It's not on a clinical, physical. No. It's on an emotional and spiritual level. Through the AA way of life, I have received the gift of bonding with those who were there before me and with those who are there now and with those yet to come. For this gracious gift from God, I am forever grateful. Me too. This life is certainly a lot better than the one I was living. All right. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I appreciate it. I love you. You know I do. Peace out. And have a day.